Three Arts Awards 2020.
Chicago artists are the pure expressions of human being experience.
Chicago artists are resilient,
hopeful,
dynamic,
badasses,
dope.
Chicago artists are in flow.
Chicago artists are overcomers,
fearless,
innovative.
Chicago arts are romantic. It'll get you here.
He pats his heart. Screen says Three Arts Awards. This is actor Teki Lumnicki.
I tell the universal story of me and you and the story we can create together. I tell the story of disability, of crutches, wheelchairs, canes, dancing hands, and beautiful minds. I tell the story of stories, longing to be told, of a people fighting for accessibility. I tell the stories of adaptability, invention, and resilience. I tell the story of inclusion and what it can do to plant the seeds of connection and understanding. I tell the story, the universal story of me and you and the story we can create together.
The camera moves on to the back of her raised hand. The camera pulls back on the crown of Tatsu Ooki's bass violin. He's in a large vacant room lit with natural light and anchored by thick round columns. Swaying to his music, Tatsu is wearing a colorful protective mask. He looks right, waves someone over.
Doors closed.
We go to the Adams Wabash elevated train platform, where the camera comes up on the body. Tap dancer, Juana Taylor, with rolled up newspaper in one hand as he steps forward, backwards, brushing the right toe and lifting on his toes, bringing left foot alongside it, then back and bringing them even. Skip landing, hop landing, right foot forward, foot back, right foot out to side, spins to opposite direction, hops, lands, facing camera, turns clockwise, crossing right foot behind left, bringing it back, bending knees forward, stepping right foot back and forward, brings heels down, right foot back, forward, heels to ground, brushing back with left, brushing, stepping back with right, bringing it forward, then back, stepping forward on right, walking toe back, bringing left back, brushing it forward, small steps, turns counterclockwise, back to left, step forward, plants right foot forward, brings it back, brings left back, taps toe, then heel, hops back, tapping toe, right legs back and across, up to toe, left foot around, right toe and heel, brings back, hops back, right, up, back, heels down, left foot back, forward, down, right, back and down, left foot back, forward to side, right, back, forward, down, feet together, right foot back, forward, left foot back to side, back in, then heel, lift on toes, right, left back, right in, settles, turns, steps to camera, stoops, looking through one end of paper, brings in right up to camera lens, which takes us to an eye at the far end of a rolled up magazine. It's lower.
That, my friends, is the first chapter of a new piece made by 13 Three Arts Awardees. Over the course of the evening tonight, you'll see 3 more chapters and be able to watch the entire piece anytime afterwards. Thank you so much to the artists for joining us and making that beautiful piece for us to see
The
tonight.
screen splits.
Hi, I'm Kat Tager. I'm the chair of the Three Arts Board of Directors, and I am so honored to welcome you here tonight for the 2020 Three Arts Award celebration.
And I'm Juana, a co-chair of tonight's event and a lifelong fan of this organization. Bienvenidos, everyone.
Going virtual is new to us, isn't it, Juana?
Yes, it is.
We're used to having a big celebration with a dance party at the end, so you'll have to bear with us while we take care of a few housekeeping items for this online version. First, this event is fully accessible with audio description, American Sign Language interpretation, and open captioning. For all of you joining us on YouTube, you'll notice that we have a chat stream off to the right. Please use this chat to send your celebrations, your hurrahs, your yay for you for this year's awardees. You can also turn the chat off entirely if you'd like to focus on tonight's event. For those of you who don't know 3 Arts, you're going to learn a lot about it tonight. For me, as a musician myself, I can think of no other organization that I love more than 3 Arts that advocates for women, artists of color, deaf and disabled artists in the Chicago 6-county area.
I'm so proud to be part of that celebration and have spread the love for 3 Arts and artists everywhere. I also want to thank my fellow host committee members for helping to fill the virtual house this year. It has been an honor to be part of 3 Arts family and to support their work in providing grants and technical assistance to artists of color, women, and artists with disability. Everything that 3 Arts does is important for our city, but one thing really stands out tonight. If you love 3 Arts and all they do and have the means to donate, then we hope you will, because all donations made tonight are going to be split evenly among 3 Arts and 2 other arts organizations that are long-standing anchors in Chicago. The first, Deeply Rooted Dance Theater, and the second, Jazz Institute of Chicago. 3 Arts is just one part of the local ecosystem of organizations that support artists. It's not enough for 3 Arts to endure. We're all in this together. We need to share our resources and endure these times together. Donating is really easy. Just text the word 3 Arts to the number you see on your screen, and you'll be directed to a secure link to make a donation.
So many people have already donated to this effort, so thank you so very much for your support. I also want to thank the Wolder Foundation for being the first ever 3 Arts Awards presenting partner, and all of our event sponsors, award partners, and donors throughout the year who make our work possible and have allowed us to extend our resources in ways we never have before. Finally, I want to thank the 3 Arts Board of Directors, a group of people with whom I am so very honored to work. And of course, the 3 Arts staff, Misha Arant, Sarah Slonik, and Esther Grimm.
There's more in store for us tonight, so let's keep moving. Up next, we've invited 3 Arts awardee Santiago X to honor the native lands wherever you are watching this stream.
From above, we travel over a thicket of prairie plants that fill the screen. The word acknowledgement comes to screen. It's replaced by water rushing to, then receding from a sandy shore.
Nungum sakogino wind kidayayang Padawadamia king Geget Bijnago Nungum Minowa Kagi.
We now travel over a huge body of rippling water. We're on the surface of water, Chicago's river, moving towards the city skyline that sits far ahead in the background. The sun rests atop Lake Michigan, its reflection creating a path leading down to us. We travel above, alongside, and below a variety of trees, arriving at the sun, backed by a blue sky. We move through a thicket of prairie plants. An arm comes into frame, brushing the plants as we pass. The city's skyline, bordered by water, stands in the background. Waves arrive on the sandy shore, then lead back out to the lake. The sun hangs over another path of plants. Reflect off swaying branches of a weeping willow. Water mirrors a patch of blue sky that's bordered by trees and clouds. From the lake's surface, we close in on a skyline anchored by the John Hancock Building. We rise over an industrial area, then down to a construction site where earth-moving equipment sits near a pile of rocks and dirt. The form of a person silhouetted in prairie plants walks the area. The silhouette is now water. The person, entirely covered in white cloth, walks among plants. They wrap themselves with both arms. Back to the prairie plant silhouette, closing in on camera. Screen goes to black, says filmed by Santiago X, featuring Andrea Carlson, Ohebwe, Virginia Langley Benvenite, Corsate, Roma DiCarlo, Santiago, Corsate/Komuro. Film X, edited by Santiago X, Corsate, Chamuru, Chigagwan. From an X in the center of the black screen, we go to Esther.
Hi, everyone. I'm Esther Grimm, the Executive Director of 3 Arts. Welcome. There is such a curious and even a bit unnerving intimacy to this celebration. Instead of welcoming you from the stage, from a podium, under hot lights, feeling the warmth of 350 people gathered with excitement, I'm welcoming you into my apartment, where I am trying really hard not to feel utterly awkward by having to look at my own face on screen, while simultaneously trying to keep the cats out of my room so I can concentrate. I know you are out there, though, in your own homes, and I hope you and your families are well. I also hope tonight lifts your spirits and that you let some of the buoyancy of this hour take hold and give you courage. There is, has been, and always will be so much to say about the times we're living in. They are brutal for many of us, shocking for most, and like nothing any one of us could have easily predicted. And that is why this year's 3 Arts Awards celebration is about refueling our spirits. It's about sending a big love letter out to Chicago artists for the ways they resolve, resist, and restore, activate and advance, soothe and steel us, and always, always reveal the authentic heart of everything in their path and wake. When times are hard, and you know the truth is they are always hard for someone somewhere, art has the grace to force an opening in the fog so that we can find a way forward. Artists leap beyond how things have always been done to places powered by new possibilities arising out of their inventive probing. I mean, artists are heroic, really, and it is time to celebrate them with everything we've got together from our homes, virtual hand in virtual hand. With every awards event, and there have been 13 counting tonight, there is an abundance of people to thank, and I must name 3 who made tonight happen, but who basically make every day of the year happen too. John Satram of Studio Thread, thank you for getting us online and making sure we stayed there. Sarah Slonik, our Director of Programs, affectionately known as Mr. Spock, and Misha Arant, our Manager of Administration and Programs, known equally affectionately as, well, Misha Arant. You lift well above your weight and are the strongest team I've ever known. Well, we promised some new news, and I'm going to get the ball rolling on delivering it right now. We're announcing a new program tonight called 3ER, 3 Arts Emergency Response, designed in response to this time of pandemic and pandemonium, in which many artists have lost their jobs seemingly overnight. 3ER is a $50,000 and counting fund we have spent the last many months establishing to support the needs of nearly 350 artists in the 3 Arts Network. Starting soon after this event, we will be distributing swift $500 grants to these artists to cover expenses from groceries to prescriptions. I want to thank all of the contributors who seeded this fund and give a shout out to my new hero, Paige, a high school student in the Northwest suburbs who discovered 3 Arts online and proceeded to raise $750 to support 3ER. Paige, wherever you are, I hope you know that you made us cry tears of joy just knowing that the future is in your hands. I mean, no pressure. You're not responsible for the whole future, but please do what you can.
Make a Wave, Artist to Artist Giving.
Welcome, beautiful people, to the 2023 Arts Award ceremony. My name is Cecil McDonald Jr., a 2010 3 Arts Awardee. I'm coming to you from a rooftop here in the city of Chicago, a beautiful city with a beautiful view, a city full of extraordinary artists, makers, and arts organizations. During a time that could be described as volatile, unpredictable, and uncertain, the one thing that we can be certain of is art endures. We also can be certain that 3 Arts will step up, 3 Arts will have our backs, 3 Arts will be down with us. This commitment to artists will ensure that art will continue to be made during our shared time of societal upheaval and radical transformation. In keeping with the tradition of community building, 3 Arts created the Make a Wave program, where previous 3 Arts awardees will select another artist to receive a surprise cash grant. This program allows for artists to recognize artists to support artists, and most importantly for me, artists to show love to another artist. For me, this is the very definition of community. I would be remiss if I didn't express a huge thank you to the Sarah Gusa Family Foundation for supporting the Make a Wave program. So without further ado, I give you the 2020 Make a Wave awardees. Cam B. Jacob Brooks, Andrea Carlson, Sydney Charles, Ashwati Chainad, Jill Hopkins, Arti Ishaq, Keisha Janae, John Veal, Regina Victor.
Congratulations. We go to a bamboo forest where Fazia Mirza, a 2015 Arts Community Awardee, climbs down a ladder and sits on a platform.
My fellow 3 Arts artists.
Takes out and reads a crumbled piece of paper. She gets to her feet and climbs down to the ground.
Don't think I've forgotten about you out here.
And trots.
I think of you and search for you daily, on trails, through the woods.
Grabbing a tree.
Even in the heart of this
swinging around
this bamboo forest.
Continuing ahead.
I hope one day we can gather under the moon at a beautiful country home.
Weaving our way through.
Focaccia, grow vegetables from our scraps, jump on trampolines, make music together. All paid for, of course, by generous donations of 3 Arts and its patrons.
She turns.
One day.
Clutching, kissing the paper. Looks into camera.
I admire you, and I will be here waiting for the next time we collaborate.
Tosses it into lens. It's caught by instrumentalist Brandy Berry Benson, a 2014 3 Arts Gertrude E. Gresham awardee. She lifts a handful of white confetti, releasing it to fall before camera. And on to 2012 3 Arts McCormick Family Awardee, choreographer Monique Haley. Monique lowers herself beyond the camera, which finds her squatted behind a pot of leafy plants. She brings her arms around them, back to herself, lays arms out to sides, rises, twisting one, bringing it in, while swinging the other, laying it across chest, brings both out to sides, like skirt, kicks knee up and down, throwing head back, brings leg down, steps forward, spins right arm up, left down, facing camera, one arm extended out, the other behind the head, elbows back, bringing arms out, arms drop, rising on left toe, stepping with right, left leg forward, arms up, pushing palms out, turning them down, bringing elbows in, arms to plant, bring right leg behind her, bending left leg, extending left arm, lowering clasped hand, grab scarf from floor, draping her neck, stepping forward, head back, turning to camera, lower, hips gyrating, arms swinging up, lowers right leg, hands up, down, left leg forward, back to camera, away from plane, throws head back, leg forward, hiking skirt, turns, high kick, leg down, turns left, back to camera, arms spread, stepping forward, arms up, tossing scarf over shoulder, steps back from plant, unraveling scarf from neck, raising it, stepping to plant, placing around neck, looking down at plant, squirrel's tail of scarf over brings hands together, unfolds arms down to plant, caressing it as scream fades.
Peace and love, everyone. My name is Sam Trump, and I'm so excited to be here with you tonight to experience all of these artists and all these great performances, and to most of all celebrate our brand new awardees that are being brought into the Three Arts family. It's a huge pleasure for me to be on the other side now for this year, to be able to say welcome. Now, Three Arts and I have been working together to prepare something very special for you tonight. And they approached me with this wonderful idea, and it was for me to write a song to share and debut with you for this evening, for this event, along with a music video. So this is going to be a brand new world premiere. So for this song, I wanted to write about love and togetherness and community and coming together. And I wanted to choose a really great videographer for this and also collaborate with some other artists. So I chose Ashley Battle to be the director of this film and her production company Over at France. I collaborated with my young brother, Jay Xavier, for the lyrics and the melodies of the song. And I collaborated with my young cousin-in-law, Jayla Marie, to help sing and add her beautiful voice to the song. I'm so excited for you to check this brand new world premiere. And this is straight from my heart to Chicago artists, to the city. Check it out. The world premiere of New World.
Sam stands before a blue cloth. He lays on a large sloping body of grass.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. What about you? Let's make it a reality.
Conversing in the neighborhood.
That we can speak to tell the truth.
Accompanying a rapper.
Supporting a vendor. This is where I want to be, helping others, and it's just because that's what I love. Look what it does, creates a bond between us. And when we form
exchanging handshakes,
unbreakable, you must know it comes from above.
Smiling couple
the creator
cuddles.
Is love. Forget what it was, the future's
a baby fist
on
bumps
us. So let's put together strategies, solutions before tragedies. We've all got a part to play each day. Communications, everything based on a
purchases produce.
Exchange. Speak life, take away the pain. Let's focus today, cause time won't wait for you and I to make a change.
We pass over him lying on the grass.
Yeah, I can see
a shirt says Black Health Matters.
Let's make it a reality.
He plays for a tap dancer. Then a man and child as they spray paint. He supports another vendor.
Invest in me, cause all that's left is we. I need my sisters and my bros to get rid of the hate. So much wrong around, let's end it. Just believe all someone needs is a true.
We go from a woman and child painting a fence to Trump and Jayla Marie in a field of sunflowers. displays at an art installation, an urban garden, before the blue cloth. Shakes hands with the man, poses with tap dancer, stands before a neighborhood shop with a fellow musician. An ice cream shop with a woman before bushes of sunflowers. And back before the blue cloth. Sam Trump, an Over at Friends production. We're back with Esther.
All right. I hope you're ready to get happy because it's time for the Three Arts Awards. Our $25,000 unrestricted award is presented annually to 10 artists who have been selected by national jury panels for their compelling work, distinctive artistic voices, and the many ways they touch people in every neighborhood where they live, and well beyond. To date, a whopping 126 women-identified artists, artists of color, and deaf and disabled artists have received Three Arts Awards, proving that Chicago has no shortage of brilliance. What's singular, I think, about Three Arts is that our award is just the beginning of lifetime support, because one check is simply not enough. We offer awardees month-long fellowships at magnificent residency sites from France to California, Santa Fe, New Hampshire, and Florida. We also offer project funding on our homemade crowdfunding platform, 3AP, which means Three Arts Projects, and we provide formal and informal professional development opportunities, starting off with financial planning sessions for each new awardee. There's more, but we have a website, so please go there and check us out. So yeah, our award is more than just a $25,000 check. In fact, and here comes our second bit of promised news, it's not even $25,000. I am very happy to announce that the Three Arts Awards are on the rise and from now on are increasing to $30,000. I can't even tell you how much I loved saying that. It's like Three Arts, we have 3 staff people, our awards are $30,000. It's like the ultimate power of 3. It has been 6 years since we last raised the award, and we could think of no better year to take the leap than this one, when every single bit of good news matters. Enough for me now. I have to go let the cats in or they're going to shred something important in the apartment. So let's get on with it. It is my great honor to introduce you to the new, the beautiful, the 2020 Three Arts Awardees.
The screen says Three Arts Awards.
It was a very busy morning.
I was working at a summer camp on the west side.
We were eating breakfast. Literally had one foot out the door.
And when I got the call,
I didn't recognize the number.
What is this call? Who's this person?
I was like, okay, it says Chicago, so I'll answer.
She said, this is Esther from Three Arts.
Once the words Three Arts came out of her mouth, I knew what was happening.
And she was like, you got the award. And I literally started jumping around.
I was like, the $25,000 grant, are you sure? Are you positive? I just started crying.
I was surprised.
I was shaking, and then I understood why she asked me to sit down.
I think I might have screamed and scared my neighbors.
Oh my gosh.
I felt like a little numb.
I just had tears in my eyes. It was just a very happy moment.
It was waterworks from there. Just like, thank you for permission because this is amazing.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. It was awesome.
Feeling very humbled to be able to, get that kind of exciting news.
Kiera Collins, dancer, choreographer, teacher. Movement is a part of our life on a daily basis. Like, we need movement to function and grow. And
she, along with several others dressed in white, perform within walls draped in white.
So I'm really interested in using movement as a therapeutic process to deconstruct systematic and dangerous and traumatic cycles that have been passed down through generations, specifically from a Black female perspective.
She performs a Clara Lucille in Crossing.
Dance for me was my first form of healing. It was the first tool that I used to like unpack some of those things. Looking back down my lineage and my history, dance and movement has always been used to like tell stories for different like ceremonial reasons and different occasions. It's also a way to keep culture and history, like to pass it down.
She spins, hurdles herself around the stage.
When I'm dancing, I lose myself inside of that. I would want people to feel engaged in it as if they were on stage dancing with me. You know, somebody else can get lost inside of this as well. It's crazy. That's like the only space in my life where I don't have control. And I love being able to have that space to just be like, okay, let's just do it.
M. Joy Gavino, actor, casting director. I started off as an actor, predominantly Asian-specific roles, and I was fine with it because I loved the theater so much.
You don't know me. You know the idea of me. The idea of me is easy to love.
And when I got a role that wasn't specifically Asian, I realized in that moment that I could have been looking for this the whole time. I could have been dreaming way bigger for myself. And that if that's true for me, that's true for so many people. I was at one particular audition where they just saw the same body type and the same ethnicity. And my director friend was like, I asked for diversity. I asked for the city of Chicago. And the casting director, with me in the room, said, well, you know, Chicago just doesn't have a lot of minorities. And I remember being so angry. So I wrote down every single person that I would have called in, and I emailed her within like half an hour while still on the red line. And like, they used my cast. And I was like, I could do this. The Chicago Inclusion Project came from a lot of frustration and anger of just kind of like, we're tired of talking about it. We're tired of diversity panels. We're tired of like walking into rooms and knowing that the role isn't going to go to us. It was about the action of putting the art and the actors on stage saying, it's not hard. It really isn't. If you're coming from a place of curiosity and humility, that's when the work can be so much greater. That's when your impact can be so much greater.
Jason Howard, dance maker.
Two dancers move their way across a littered stage.
I tend to make work about the Black male experience, our loveliness, our gentleness, and our pain, and how that intertwines to make this world or landscape where we can release, find joy, and be happy.
The dancers are now before a DJ.
When I think about my work, I see it as kind of like a practice of freedom. Because of the current climate in the world, a lot of the unjust killing of Black men all over media, all over the time. I think I'm trying to find a philosophy on how to live in this world that doesn't particularly want us here. I think it's the poetics of freedom that I'm really inspired by. I want to figure out what that camaraderie is in a movement, embodied practice, and what that means with other Black men. And just support each other when things get rough or when things are good. So I see them practicing freedom every time they're on stage or in rehearsal. And I think that's the main thing I'm looking for, how to continually practice freedom in the work that I'm making or doing.
A.J. McLennan, interdisciplinary artist.
A colorful, sharp-edged painting floats just before the surface of water.
I perform, but I also create sounds and videos that kind of explore the personal as the political. Water is a huge theme in my work, as like this physical element, but also as a spiritual element. I began to think about water and Blackness and what that means in thinking about the slave trade, as well as contaminated water and access to swimming pools and beaches.
That's when everyone ran out of the pool area, and then that's when the cops were yelling at people to get on the ground.
Throughout my practice, I really value interviews and talking to people, seeing where they're coming from to kind of situate my own personal experience. I work with teens a lot, and I know I've been stopped by the police, and so I'll check in with them, because I want to know their experiences. A lot of the things happening right now when we're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, have been happening for a long time, and there's been something that has come up in my work.
Vintage photos are projected onto a white t-shirt.
And so I have a responsibility to continue to speak up, as I have before. The experiences that I have that maybe jar me or maybe even lift me up, I kind of want to know if other people are experiencing that too.
Megan McNeil, mother, vocalist, cultivator. I use my voice to reach people and even reach and meet me where I am. And then maybe the community of sharing emotions and experiences with other people just heals us in a very kind of way. That's what I do.
Megan in the recording studio.
I do a lot of jazz, soul, R&B, but I've done rock, country. Whatever the moment calls for, that's what I try to bring to the table. I was in Barcelona for this gospel tour, and the people in the audience afterward came up with tears, just like, thank you so much for this moment. Thank you for your voice. Everything that goes into voice and song was able to be felt through language barriers, through age barriers. Music pierces right through that. And singing in particular is just another tool to add to the layers and the complexities of telling a story.
And what if the wind second guessed its tune?
It allows people to feel community, which is so important. The more that we tell our stories, the more people don't feel alone in their own story. I think when you allow yourself to live out loud, you give people permission to do the same exact thing.
Junius Paul, bassist and composer.
Junius performs in a trio at a live venue.
I grew up around music pretty much from birth. Even as a small child, I always had a love for playing instruments, and I started playing the bass when I was 15. The thing that I love about the bass is the fact that it's the root of everything. It's the bottom. I just love the vibration that you feel from those low tones. There's just a certain feeling that I get that affects me from toe to head. Parallel it to the ground and roots and earth. A lot of the time, the earth is the foundation for trees and for buildings and for so many things. And so the fact that the bass kind of has that same role in an ensemble, that's always attracted me to it. My parents were both very active in various communities around Chicago. South Side especially, which is where, I'm from. Fortunately for me, I've been able to take on some of that spirit. Being a musician, especially in this time as I've gotten older, I take pride in just wanting to make people feel better through my music. Music is vibration, and there's healing in vibration. And so especially when it's coming from the heart and it's sincere, then, it can really do some things.
Luis Álvaro Sagún Nuño, artist and educator. For me, being an artist and an educator is the same thing. And I'm constantly pulling from each one onto another. So the reason I love art is because it's taught me about the world and about my place in the world. What drives me is my own experiences of of growing up undocumented and feeling like I wasn't enough in school. I want students to have educators in their lives that champion them, that work for them, that share their experiences, their similarities, and their struggles. It really isn't necessarily about learning to paint, but it's about the conversations that are happening together. And so in a time like right now, I want to have the answers, but then I understand that art isn't about the answers, but it's like, how can I prepare our students to have these questions, for them to be the ones that are leading this change with their energy and their excitement and their intelligence and their love. And now it feels like the world is listening, but it feels also like there's a lot of chaos as well. So it's a very difficult time, but I think it just shows how important the voices of our students are and how we have to be there to support them. My job is to let them know that they could trust me. When they finally reveal who they are to me, they're like super insightful. They're very vulnerable, so smart and courageous. And it's beautiful. Like, that's why I love being an educator, for that reason.
Dorian Sylvain, muralist and teaching artist. Growing up on the South Side, amongst so many artists that were pivotal in the Black arts movement, they really instilled in me the need for artists to be active in community. These options aren't presented in particular in neighborhoods that there's been disinvestment. Access to art is a real problem. And so by working in the public sphere, I really felt of myself a bit as a bridge.
Today's our community paint day.
Awesome.
These past 4 decades, my energies have been spent not only in trying to give back to the community as a teaching artist, give back to the youth in particular, but also addressing systemic problems that we have in our neighborhoods. Art, of course, doesn't erase those things, but it can assist the young people in giving them voice and giving them power, also giving them skills. So the mural is not so much about the commission, but it's about opportunities in which I can bring in young people who are interested in public art. And so even just allowing them to experience that level gives them this sense of belonging to something bigger. You know, it's not about my yellow triangle. It's about what that yellow triangle means in the scheme of things. And to me, that's kind of like what community is about. Even something that simple becomes almost like a life lesson, you know, that says collective voices speak louder, you know?
Sydney Lynn Thomas, scenic designer. As a scenic designer, I organize what the world of the play is going to look like. World building to me is just kind of fleshing out more than what is the space that is given for this play in this moment. Understanding what is the context of the show, what is the context of the area. So bringing in as many threads of different art forms in general is kind of how I imagine the world building separate from I'm just designing a set. The show I did called Sheepdog, it was a story that had multiple different perspectives. There were a number of sliding panels that felt more permanent and solid at the beginning of the story. And by the end, the stage was basically like stripped bare. And so thinking about that, of like, how do I like communicate this kind of stripping away and the different like conflicting perspectives and things moving? How do I translate that like provocation to sometimes a static space? Our world is constantly changing and fluxing and doing all kinds of things around us. And I think that being open to the ways that our world is not necessarily all solid and understanding that everything is changing and moving allows a lot of flexibility for how we create things that change and move on a spectrum of what that changing or moving may look like.
Rebecca Torres, visual artist. My background is in theater and fashion. I do painting, I do drawing, I use a lot of fabrics and sewing, and I also do photography and film. I kind of do a lot of things, I guess. A few years ago, I started working on a project called Tres Fridas, where we photographed ourselves in the image Dos Fridas by Frida Kahlo. And that went on to a collection of 16 images that we recreated. And that was to help change perceptions on what the disability experience is like. I'm currently working on a new set of photographs and images related to pain and pleasure. As a person with chronic pain, it's about my relationship with pain, but also learning to acknowledge that there are pleasurable moments. For a long time, I kept my disability advocacy work separate from my art. There's so many things wrong with the world right now, and there's so many ways of making change. And for me, art has become that. This is my way to tell people what I believe, how I want change, what I have to say. It's power. For me, art is power.
We go to Esther hosting a Zoom chat with the awardees.
Hi, Esther.
Hello.
I am so happy to meet you. I'm doing a little Zoom bomb today.
Yeah, oh, that's fun.
but in a good way.
In a good way.
We're just all of us so excited and thrilled, as I told you on the phone. But I wanted to come today just, to kind of formally welcome you as a new awardee, but I also have some more big news for you.
Okay.
We're not going to give you $25,000.
The smiles pause.
That we're going to give you $30,000.
In return,
Okay.
Oh my God.
sighs of joy,
Are you serious?
relief,
We've made a decision
along with
to kind
tears.
of go against the grain and to give more and do more and advocate more, to do as much as we can to support artists and help you all make it through all of this.
Wow.
Think for how long, how much I just survived with pennies. Yeah. Thank you.
Esther, you're trying to make me cry again today.
Every time I talk to you, you're lifting, you're like, what?
Well, we're just so excited. It's been, we've been keeping it all under wraps, but working really hard in the hopes that we could give more to all of you this year and kind of keep it at that new level going forward, in acknowledgement that, the pandemic is super tough for you artists.
You guys are doing an amazing job though. Like, you're checking in with people and making sure that they have what they need. And I'm grateful for you guys. I know a lot of people are.
This is Megan.
To be honored with this award that is homegrown for Chicago artists, it just makes me feel even more attached.
Kiara.
I have grown and become an artist in this
Sydney.
And just to be recognized by my community and embraced is just like beyond what I could have imagined.
The sense of pride that I feel for this city, it runs so deep.
Lewis.
When I think of Chicago or the city of Chicago, I don't think of skyscrapers. I just think of people.
Like the best of the best of the best live here.
I'm a product of the people and the energy and the grit and the love that this city has.
This moment is huge for me.
The
Dorian.
recognition certainly empowers me psychologically to say, oh my gosh, I'm hitting some new heights.
I'm excited about being a part of 3Arts family and getting to know the other artists as well.
Rebecca.
It shows other artists with disabilities that they can also see themselves as a professional artist.
I really think the award just opens up the opportunities of being able to explore all of the different avenues of what I'm doing.
And now the 3Arts Award is actually requiring me to dream.
It gives me space and time to play.
It's like fuel.
AJ.
It will allow me to collaborate more, to be able to pay people.
The options to be able to make some decisions, some real decisions, and be able to act on them.
Because now I have the resource to step back a little bit and be like, how can I do better? To keep pushing that forward.
3Arts Awards. And Esther and her cat.
Here I am again, this time to introduce someone who makes Chicago so proud.
The cat exits.
Every year, we ask one of the newest awardees to just say a few words, and this year we've invited Dorian Sylvain to be it. This spring, 85 people supported her crowdfunded award, with their donations generously matched by Southwest Airlines. At that time, none of those donors knew who the recipient would be. They just knew it was going to be someone whose presence in our city is indelible. As I exit virtual stage left, let me pass my fictitious microphone over to Dorian so all of you can know exactly what I mean by indelible.
Hi, my name is Dorian Sylvain, and I am the proud recipient of this year's 2020 Three Arts Southwest Airlines Community Award. The mural, check it out. As an artist, as an educator, as an activist, and as a native Chicagoan, I have spent the past 4 decades making art and using art making to connect and engage with community, to beautify the corridors in schools, to encourage curiosity in children, to build bridges for young artists looking for opportunities, and tackling community blight. So what does this mean for me? It lifts me up. It validates my work. This support is going to allow me to go further, to dream bigger, to speak louder, and to open my arms wider. So thank you for lifting me up. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting community. So it is with a warm heart and eyes that are still filled with tears of joy that I extend a congratulations to my fellow 2020 Three Arts awardees.
From her seat at the top of the wall, she tosses glitter, sprays the camera lens with silly string. A hand, wrapped in a colorful piece of material, pulls back from the screen. This hand belongs to Will Liverman, operatic baritone, and 2017 Arts Stan Lipkin and Evelyn Appapel-Lipman awardee. The material is a necktie that he proceeds to tie around his neck.
If you smile through your fears and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun.
He flips his collar down,
come shining through. If you'll just
and tightens the knot.
Smile.
Now with album in hand, he looks to the right in surprise, passes the album over to 2011 Three Arts awardee, actor Kareem Bendele, whose head is covered by that of a tiger's. Kareem, wearing a plaid housecoat, places the album on a turntable, shrugs, sits on the couch, shrugs, stands on left side of frame, then right, bottom of stairs, door, one hand on its window, the other atop his head, on the staircase, shrugs, back at the door, and on the staircase, where he braces the rails, lifts himself, and swings legs from side to side. Back on the couch, he's texting. He swipes the cell phone screen, right, then left, crosses fingers in frustration, lays on his left side, then his right. Sits up, pulls cover overhead, kicks it off, stands in frustration, disappears, rises from behind the couch, places a brimmed hat on head, shrugs, twirls, then flips it back onto his head, disappears, re-enters from left small table, takes seat on couch, lays cloth on table, places teapot, cup, and saucer on it, holds up flame lighter, pours into cup, tries drinking, raises arms in frustration, pushes everything off table, tries removing tiger head, tries stuffing saucer through mouth opening, sets table aside, snatches up cloth, tosses it into camera. We come to a pair of legs. Camera pulls back to reveal choreographer Sean Sanders Ward, 2013 Three Arts Southwest Airlines awardee, sitting on a high stool. In bare feet, she wears blue jean shorts and a loose white blouse. She stomps forward, hops, steps, sticks out left, planting heel to right, pivots, steps right, one arm up, one down, bends knee, leaning forward, turns full circle, into squat, rises, mounts, stepping backwards, arms, face raised to sky, brings them down, stepping right, swinging them up in front while stepping forward, landing on left foot, right knee bent forward, tiptoeing, turning full circle, looking, extending arm, left, turning, leaning forward, right arm in air, right leg forward, right hand to face, left arm out, then up. Stepping forward, joining left hand with right, forming a heart before her face, moving closer and closer to camera. Screen says next level.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Masum Momaya, one of the co-chairs of tonight's event and a member of 3Arts Board of Directors. I have the privilege of revealing a brand new program, the Next Level Awards. For a while now, we've been asking ourselves what would happen if our artists could receive not just one, but 2 awards to support their most ambitious dreams. And what would happen if that second award was twice the amount of the first? Well, we're about to find out. This year, thanks to an anonymous donor from the Chicago Community Foundation, we are able to dive in and turn our idea into a reality. So how does this work? 3 women who are visual artists and past 3Arts awardees will each receive an inaugural $50,000 Next Level Award. We hope that by going big, this will allow the artists to dream even more boldly than they've ever done before, and we can't wait to see what they do next. What's great is that this isn't a one-off. The Next Level Awards will be happening again next year, and we hope for many years to come, including with awards being given to performing artists. And now, to introduce you to our 3 Next Level awardees, we've enlisted 3 people who know them best.
Kungo, interdisciplinary artist, 3Arts Spare Room Awardee. This is the awardee's sister.
Hi, Kungo is the next level because she is an amazing artist, but most importantly, she's an amazing sister. She's influenced the whole family. We're from an immigrant family. We're first generation. So you are supposed to go be a doctor or an engineer. She took the road less traveled. She became an artist. I have one art that she's given me, and it's so simple. Every day I see it, the ink has kind of faded. The fading just makes me understand how life is, how it relates to Black Lives Matters, how it relates to immigrant family, how it relates to undocumented family. I understand how people are not being seen and they're still saying chúng tôi vẫn ở đây, and it means that we are still here. The more I understand of her art, the more it touches my heart. I'm so proud of her. There's no words I can convey of how much I appreciate the stuff that she does and how proud I am of her.
Amanda Williams, 3Arts Spare Room, Stan Lipkin and Evelyn Appel Lipkin awardee.
Why is Amanda Williams next level?
This is her husband.
It's because she's a transcendent artist that gives voice to the interplay between race and power through her examination of space and color. Or is it because of her wit, and charm, creative genius, that powerful voice that she won't hesitate to use when she feels she needs to speak up for something she believes in? Or is it simply because she's able to combine being a great artist with being an absolutely fabulous mother to our 2 daughters and the perfect role model for them to aspire to? Is it all the above, or is it more? The truth of the matter is, next level probably doesn't go far enough, and this is why I can see no one more deserving than Amanda.
Congratulations, Mommy.
The daughters. Foliame Wilson, multidisciplinary artist.
Let me tell you why Fo Wilson is next level. She's a multidisciplinary artist, maker, mama sa, nana, friend, thinker, art historian, professor, graphic designer, lover of the aesthetic. She's an inspiration who forges her own path, and as her son has shown me, you can pursue your passion and transform your life many times over to accomplish so much. She's an amazing collaborator and partner who introduced me to museums and galleries before I could walk. She's been my barometer for what's cool before I knew what that was. She's also looked at the world with a critical eye towards shaking up the status quo. Through her art, she broadens the conversation on everything from sculpture, architecture, music, furniture, historical personalities, the cosmos, and beyond. Fo Wilson is forever deepening her craft and consciously shifting her perspective. To quote a famous Broadway musical, she will never be satisfied in the best way possible. Fo Wilson is my mom, and I'm happy I get to share her with the world and all of you in the Shy Art community.
Congratulations. A clarinet covering the screen is pulled back to reveal Leslie B. Dunner, conductor and 2009 Three Arts Northern Trust awardee. He removes the mouth cap. Replaces the mouth cap, brings clarinet forward, covering the screen, as we go to the work of performance maker Anna Martine Whitehead, 2018 Three Arts HMS Fund awardee. Metallic paper, now filling the camera, is crumbled down by hand, revealing a screen window looking out on residential buildings. The hand expands paper back over the camera, placing it against the window. Then bringing, crushing, rolling it between thumb and fingers. Expands it against window. Crushes it in small increments. It's poured off screen to the right. It returns from above, slowly unfolding. To momentarily cover camera, before being poured off to the right. Settles to the right of frame, a finger enters from above. The paper leaves as hand comes in, pressing against window. Curls into a fist. As we go to composer cellist Tomika Reed, the 2016 Three Arts Southwest Airlines awardee. And now, Kat and Juana.
Thanks to Tomika Reed and all the awardees who put together such an exquisite chain reaction. Juana, I know you feel the same way I do. As we close tonight, we're all hoping for better days ahead. We want every artist to know that we will do everything we can, whenever and however we can, to help them make their way through these extraordinary times.
That's right, Kat. And I have to say thanks to 3 Arts for lighting the way tonight and for all the support they continue to provide Chicago's artists. Thank you, 3 Arts.
The 3 Arts Awards. And the credits roll.